Hi there everybody, it's Verity here from inkybutterfly.wordpress.com. Thank you for joining me again today for another card making video. So we're going to be making this card today, which I'm actually making as part of a team card swap. So this is the card I've made for all my fellow demonstrators, and I'm going to make 6 of them. So I've planned it all out and made a sample, and I'm going to do the other 5 with you right here so you can see a bit of batch card making and how I go about it. A bit of a different layout for me as well, with a bit of fussy stuff, and we've got some vellum in the background there, which in real life has a bit more poke than it does over the camera. So this is what we're doing. You can probably appreciate from the design that there's quite a lot of die cutting that has happened here. So I've done all that in advance. We're just going to build the card, and I'm just going to show you which elements I've used. Okay, so this is quite an autumnal card. It doesn't say Merry Christmas at all, just warm wishes. So it could actually be for any time. And I've actually used the Poinsettia petals and the coordinating poinsettia dies to create this card. So it's just interesting to see that you can actually make something completely different rather than what the stamp set is actually designed for. So everyone's going to leap to making the beautiful flowers and layering things up, but I wanted to try and do something different with the products. Okay, so in the stamp set, this is where the sentiment comes from. We've got the little pine bough and these 2 elements, so those layer together in a 2-step stamping fashion. So that's those, and then in the die set there is the coordinating dies that go with those berries, and then there is this additional one which is this gold piece in the background. Okay, so that's the stamp bundle. So remember, if you buy the 2 together you will save 10%. Really nice set, gorgeous papers in that suite as well. The background though, this designer series paper is also from the Autumn Winter Catalogue. No, I've forgotten the name of it. Bear with me. Should have left it out for you. Here it is. Gilded Autumn Speciality Designer Series paper. So it's on very vanilla, and a lot of the sheets, I think all of them, have one side that's got foiling on them, and we've got some sort of copper tone and some gold tone on this one, which I'm hoping is catching nicely in there. Okay, and this happens to have used, this is all that's, well, that and a strip is all I've got left of one sheet, and that happens to be the reverse side, so I've actually used one sheet but used both sides of the paper. Okay, just quickly show you these papers, actually really cool. So you've just seen that sheet, and you've got this wonderful gold and green. That's the sheet I've just showed you, and you can see the back here with sort of all these leaves. They would coordinate with the Forever Fern as well. Some more sort of gold foiling on, is it gold or is it the, looks more like a copper actually. And we've got the acorns and the oak leaves. We've got a similar pattern but gilded with the foil there. Stripes, more gilded leaves, some houndstooth, some pumpkins or gourds, something quite plain on this side, and then another sheet with the leaves, and we're back to the start again. Okay, so that's the paper, 12 sheets, so there's loads to do, and I've just used one for this particular project, or less than one even, because we still have some left. So that's what we're going for. Okay, so my ingredients then. Oh, the other thing to point out is, you seen my card base? Can you see it? It's super subtle, so I just want to see if I can get the camera to focus on the background card. There we go, just a little bit. See the shimmer? So this is actually shimmer white cardstock. It says it's white, but it's actually more of an off-white, and it goes quite nicely with the very vanilla cardstock, so it's gone with a shimmer white card base. So I'm going to keep my recipe up there because I'm bound to forget halfway through what I've done. And so let's bring in the cardstock and everything. So all my card bases are pre-cut and scored at 4 1/8, scored at 5 7/8 of an inch. There are my card bases. Okay. I then have the background strip. Like I say, these are the same cardstock DSP layers. These measure 2 by 5 inches. Okay, so I cut the paper lengthways at 5 and then cut it into 6 even strips to get my 5 by 2 strips. I then cut the other half down to create 3 by 3 squares of the other side. And then this is early espresso, which I cut down so you need almost a full sheet. You do get some bits left over to make these 3 1/8 of an inch square. So those are going to be our mats. Okay, so I think we'll start by matting those up. So I'm going to use the what do you call this? Stampin' seal. And when I'm batch making like this, I kind of, rather than putting your tape gun, picking it up and down, I try and apply it to a few pieces at a time. Might even try and do them all. If we line them up there. Like so. There we go. Okay, and we can just layer all these up. Alright, so batch card making is a little repetitive, but when you want to get something done for swaps or whatever, this is probably the best way to do it. So I always, once I know what I'm going to do, so obviously you don't want to go ahead and die cut a whole load of stuff and then realise your design's not going to work. So I had the idea in my head and I knew that the layers would fit on the card front. It was just how they were going to fit on the card front. So hence making the first sample. Build it all dry without any adhesive. Have a think about how you want it to look, and then you can take a picture with your phone if you want to be able to refer to it. So yeah, so once I was happy with my layout, I went ahead and die cut everything that I needed, and I knew how many I needed of everything. So they're all done, and what I'm going to do now is prep those with some dimensionals, and I'm actually going to bring in the black dimensionals. Now, don't use these very often, but they're superb for if you've got dark layering card, as this is. They don't show so much when you're looking down the side. Exactly the same product as our white ones, but in black. The pack you get still contains, yeah it does, it contains 4 sheets of dimensionals rather than 3, but it's 2 each of the standard dimensionals and the mini dimensionals, so you get a mixed pack of those. That's right. So those panels are ready to be adhered onto a card. I think the next thing we're going to do is get these ready to add to our card bases. So again, Stampin' seal, and I'm going to run 3 strips of adhesive down those. I know it seems like a crime to be covering up this beautiful side, but at least it gets to show itself on the other panel. I hope my teammates like these. Don't know why this is misbehaving. It was fine on the other little pieces. Strange. Right, there we are, all taped up, and bring in the card base. Okay, so which way up did I have it? So the espresso down. I don't think it matters. So I'm just looking to get this lined up on the along the side so it looks straight. I have not measured that in any way, shape or form. It's just going approximately there. You have to think about how, because these won't, so they won't be super absolutely identical, but they're going to be near enough. I wouldn't say it particularly matters which way up the chevrons go either. One more to go. I don't know why, I just find it easier to do these sideways like that. And then while we're here, we're going to crease those. So they've already been scored on the, as I cut them down and make the card bases, they are scored on the trimmer at the same time, and then I fold and burnish them as part of the making process. There we are. Okay. So now we can start pulling off these and getting those added. Got a bit of tack on my fingers from that glue runner, but so you've got a moment to think about whether you want these panels to go in a particular direction. It is a random pattern, so unless you want a particular piece showing, I don't think it really matters. And it's so I've put this slightly lower on the card than the, so it's not central, so I've tried to get this bit near enough central. It's not exactly. This is sitting just a little lower on the card front. Again, I'm not measuring it. I'm just eyeballing what looks good. Okay. Kind of looking, the chevron pattern makes it a little harder to judge straight, if you know what I mean, so I'm just lining that up, making sure that edge is straight, and then that will be fine. So this is kind of, if you're looking to batch make cards, say for Christmas, or making invitations, this is how I tend to go about it. So you can imagine substituting some of these products for other things. Got lots of beautiful Christmas themed paper in the August-December mini catalogue. Loads to choose from. So as I say, the Poinsettia paper is beautiful. There's also more traditional sort of red and greens as well. Have a browse through. Some of them are 6x6, so just bear that in mind if you're wanting to crop things in a similar way to what I have done. Some of them are 6x6 designs, so you may need more. Okay, so card bases are done. I'm just going to show you the rest of my ingredients. Look, it's like I'm like a chef. Look, I've chopped and diced everything. Okay, so these are my little gold twiggy things. So I ended up doing one for each card, so a total of 6. I've got 5 there. I've got 3 of these, so these are all stamped in early espresso and onto very vanilla card and die cut. Same with this. I just want 1 each for these, so there's another 5 of those. Again, early espresso on very vanilla, and then the berries were coloured with 2nd generation crumb cake ink, and they've just got a bit of Wink of Stella on them. Focusing this camera is just, is marvellous. It won't let me do it, will it? But anyway, there's Wink of Stella on there. It'll probably catch it just as I put it down, won't it? Oh. Anyway, some of those. I've got 2-inch vellum circles there. Some strips of, this is the suede trim. This is actually in the annual catalogue, but I think you'll forgive me that. And then the sentiment. This is a 1/2-inch strip of crumb cake ink, not ink at all, crumb cake cardstock, which I've then stamped over the top with early espresso. And I haven't done anything fancy apart from just cutting those ends at an angle, and that is all I have done. I haven't used a punch or a die or anything. I just wanted it to be nice and quick and easy. So they were nice and easy to chop down. Okay, super duper. So that's my my recipe palette, if you like. So vellum circles next. These are going on the background. So again, just a runner is being very naughty. What's going on with it? Don't know why it's not rolling on. It was fine on the first few squares, so I don't know what's going on there. I've just applied the adhesive towards the bottom of that circle, so it will be hidden behind the sentiment strip, and placing that kind of in the top right hand sort of quadrant of those square panels. Next we're going to do the sentiments with the ribbon. So this was interesting. So this I've used, so I've cut these to about 5 inches, knowing that would be more than enough. And I'm going to bring in some glue dots, and I'm going to fold over this ribbon to make sort of these little tails. Press on a glue dot and then secure that to the middle of those. I'm going to turn those over the right way up so I can do that quickly. That's another good tip, just turn everything over so it's all ready to go, but make sure it's the right way up for whatever you're going to do. So again, just wrapping that over, grab a glue dot and securing those down. Oops. If the back layer just comes away slightly, it won't matter, it will be held in place by the rest of the embellishments. Then we stick it down. But if you try and catch both strands with the glue dot, that shouldn't be an issue. Oh, not too close to the top. Okay, so all of those are ready to go, and we just want to add some, I'm going to add white dimensionals to these ones. So those are ready to go. So, a couple more. Okay, and away we go. Getting those on. You could take off all the backings in one go as well, and then it's just a case of picking them up and positioning them. So this is going to go over where you put your seal for securing your vellum, and I'm hanging it over that early espresso frame. I think when you break the frame, I don't know, it just gives it a bit more of a natural look. So, not too far to go now. So, with all the prep work done, it starts to become easier. Okay, fern leaves next. So again, because I know I want 3 per card, I like to kind of almost get them into little sets of 3 ready to go. So I'm just lining these up on my grid paper. Seem to be one short. Has one gone missing? Or did I not stamp enough? Still got 2 together somewhere. Ah, got one short. Counting fail. Okay, hasn't dropped down anywhere, has it? Nope. Okay, obviously miscounted those, so that's fine. One of them's going to have 2 on. So, get this when you win a prize. Okay, so I'm using wet glue to secure these, and for the one with the 2, I think we'll just put them at the bottom. So again, just tucking these underneath and pressing them down. You can decide how, if you want the ribbon over or under or whatever you would like. Okay. angle of those isn't particularly critical. If you wanted to have two at the top, then you can just mess around with the layout as you want to. Just like so. If there's a way to fast forward on these videos, I don't know what it is, but I'm not sure I've got the capability of doing that on here. But I think sometimes it's good to see the whole process and see how it's done in real time. Almost done now. And the next two pieces, because there's only one of each, we're going to do those simultaneously. There we are. So coming together really, really nicely. So we've just got our berry things to do, and our little gold twiggies. So again, we'll use wet glue for these, and that's just going to go onto the ends of those. Put them in wherever they'll fit. You'll probably find that there's like a little teeny space between the dimensionals that those all just sort of stick into. Just find a spot for them to sit. As long as the glue is making contact with the card, they will it will what's it called? It will dry and be adhered. And then while I'm at it, I'm going to just give the ends of those ribbons a quick trim. And there we are. So this one's done. Okay, I'll just finish off the others now. So they're the same but not identical, if you know what I mean. So that one's sticking out a bit more than the other ones did, but it doesn't matter. Any stray glue will dry clear as well, so never fear about that either. Oh, just thought of one more thing I want to add, but we can do that right at the end. Okay. I've got some gilded gems to add in as well, which I think will just finish those off. And I forgot to put them on the original sample as well, so we'll put those on there. So basically what I'm trying to do is minimise the number of times you have to kind of pick up and do a task. You do it once and then it's done, if you know what I mean. You could cut these down if they're misbehaving, or they stick out too far at the bottom. Just cut the stems down to fit your design. Okay, last one for these bits. Oh, didn't trim my ends, did I? Oh, this is the one with just the 3 leaves, 2 bowels. So let's put this a bit more over this way. And then that one over that way. Doesn't want to go in there. That'll do. Definitely looks better with the 3, doesn't it? Oh dear. Counting. It's a thing apparently. Okay. Right, all the ribbon ends are done. So, a few of these gilded gems might look nice, just to finish and frame it off, puts a little bit of interest into the background. And okay, so sticky stuff on my grid paper. So I think we'll go with just want to create our visual triangle. Definitely want one on this brown paper, and then maybe just one up there. That one looks a little detached. Really nice simple addition, just helps to tie the elements together. The gold, and you get loads of these gems on a sheet in the 3 different sizes. How many do you get? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, might say on the packet. Yeah, there is 90. I thought that was what it was in my head, because I'm sure I looked before. And that's it. Put those away. Oh, where's the lid for that gone? There it is. There we go then. Batch card making. Demonstration for you there for my card swap this year. So I hope all the ladies like them and that you found that useful, just having a bit of an insight as to how you can create lots of cards quickly. As usual, all the products will be listed in the corresponding blog post, to which there will be a link in the description, and there will be a direct shop link to the stamp set, dies and designer series paper in the description too, so you can go straight to the shop and put those in there. And so these are the ones I've made. When I receive the ones from my teammates, I'll pop on and show you what they made with their stuff. Okay, so everyone has a different style, so it's always interesting to get things from other people and see how they've used the same or similar products. So that's it for me today. Bit of a long one, but you know, 35 minutes and we've made 5 cards. Okay. Thanks a lot everybody, see you again soon. Okay, take care, stay safe, bye.